of the courts is the creator of the court. That is the plaintiff. Courts can't, the government courts can't do anything until somebody gives them the authority to do so. How do they get the authority? By filing a case. But it isn't that simple. In your case, you say what kind of forum you're in. What I do is I say it's a court of record. And by the way, here's the court of record right down here. Okay? So a court of record is very important. In fact, we'll just show it to you. Court of record. Here's the 5 requirements of a court of record. It keeps a record of the proceedings. It generally has a seal, number 5. Number 4 has the power to fine or imprison for contempt. By the way, number 1 and number 4, that's what you see in Black's Law Dictionary, 5th edition. Okay? Black's Law Dictionary, 5th edition, that's all it says. But the other 3 requirements are there too. I just read to you number 5. And then there's number 3, proceeding according to the common law. Now that's very important. You know why that's important? Because the Constitution of California, the 1879 one, you know, the one that's not even official, but everybody's using it. The 1879 Constitution, which the judge wants us to believe is what we're operating by, says right in it that all the courts in California are courts of record. So what's a court of record? Well, a court of record is proceeding according to the common law. No statutes. Okay? All those codes don't apply. You ever heard of the penal code? Everybody's heard of the penal code, right? No doesn't apply. Penal code doesn't apply. Okay? Because, not in a court of record, because that's statutory law. That's code. That's not common law. So, they have no jurisdiction. And of course, that's why they have arraignment. Because since they have no jurisdiction, they have to get you to grant the jurisdiction. How do they do that? They say, well, you're accused of violating such and such a code. Is the code valid but you're not guilty? Or is the code valid and you are guilty? Or is the code valid and it's no contest? In all 3 cases, the code's valid, right? So if you agree to the code, then they got you in contract and they proceed against you. All you have to do is enter one of those 3 pleas and you've agreed that that code is valid. And that's how they get you into the alternative courts. So the real court is the court of record. The alternative court is these, you know, these courts. You see how they operate. Anytime you see it going according to statute, you know it's not a common law court. It's not a court of record as required by the Constitution. But see, you have an unlimited right to contract, so you can contract out of it. And they take advantage of your ignorance, of course. The second requirement is the killer, though. The tribunal is independent of the magistrate. In a court of record, the tribunal is the one who does the judging. The magistrate is the public official on the government payroll who's granted some authority by the state to do certain things. But of course, he cannot violate the basic premise of a court of record because the tribunal is the one that does the judging. That has to be independent of the magistrate. And since a magistrate is basically anybody on the government payroll who's been granted state authority, he doesn't qualify to make any decisions. He can't be a tribunal. So what do? I pick the constitutional forum, court of record. Okay? So that's a really important concept. And so we go to a court of record and we run our case that way, common law. That throws out admiralty law. That throws out, in fact, it throws out the whole statutory system. It throws out everything in the Constitution. Okay? Because you're the sovereign, you decree what the law is, and if they don't like it, they can always get a jury who will sit in judgment of your law. Right? That gives you that custom and usage that we talk about, that the common law is custom and usage. Okay? We have a lot of cases where we've done that. We've gone into court, judge makes a decision. Hey, judge, you're not a tribunal. You can't be issuing orders. So we issue an order vacating the judge's order. It's real easy. Well, actually, it's not that easy. I mean, it takes time to sit down and write the papers, of course. But it's all cut and dried, okay? As a matter of fact, on the disc that I gave you, you'll look there, you'll see, let's see if I can smallify this a little. There we go.